All right. Looks like everything is running. Hello. Hey, Donley. Don Leo. Welcome. Good to see you. Don Leo, for those watching after the fact, because I think he's the only one here at the moment, is a streamer friend of mine. He streams on Twitch under Don Leo, same name as it is in chat. How you doing, man? So this painting's done. It just happens to be on my canvas at the moment, or on my easel, sorry. But yeah, going to be starting a new painting today. Is the scared faces because of the spooktacular? Is that why the? By the way, how does the quality of the stream look? Because I did some things, and it should look uh really crisp now. Yeah, new painting hype. Yep, yep. I'll bring it to full screen and have a look. Yeah, let me know. Because I think it should be, obviously, now all you're getting is a blank canvas, but it should be pretty crisp um, overall. One second, just have to adjust this a little bit. Yeah, all right. Every time I adjust one small thing, I have to adjust a lot of things. It's crazy. So, one second. Luckily, I'm getting really good at adjusting all these things at this point. Oh, that's chopping all the way into that. Okay, in that case, we'll just do this. Wait, no. Sorry, if I forget how much messing around I always have to do with this stuff every single time. I can't always predict it. Like, I think it's going to be stuck in place perfect all the time, but man, no, it's not. There we go. That's pretty good. Never going to be perfect, unfortunately. Yeah, never perfect. Oh well. I think that's as clean as I'm going to get it. There we go. All right. Now that I've spent an eternity messing with everything, I'm going to start with the painting. But yeah, when you get a chance, let me know, because I should be streaming in actual, I think, 2K at the moment, or 1440p or whatever it's called. Oh. And I also messed with the color grading and everything. I did a lot, basically. All right, why can't I move this over? The palette looks nice and sharp. The light on your face cam is kind of blowing out the highlights on you. That's fine. I'm not much to look at. I think maybe a lens hood would help. It would. The problem is, yeah, you see, the problem is my light's over here, and it's shining straight into the camera. But that's okay. This isn't whatever. I'm okay with that. But yeah, here, let me put the painting back up so you can see it, and also tell me if it's really sharp. And the colors should be better too now. Oh, my hand's right in the way. So yeah. Yeah, the painting looks great. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how to take care of the light. I tried putting a hood on it, but it always you could always see it, and that looked really weird to me. So so I uh so I left it off. And admittedly, I'm less concerned with how my face actually looks on stream. By the way, did I miss it? Did you change the day, or did you cancel this weekend's movie night? Because I missed it. If you I missed it entirely, but I wasn't sure. We moved it to Friday. That's what the vote was for. Yeah, I didn't realize it was. I thought it was starting next weekend, not this weekend. Oh, well. It's all right. Yeah, that one was on me. Totally messed that up. Everyone's excited to see the thing. That's cool. So here's something kind of exciting. I'm trying a new surface for the first time today. This is Arches paper for oil painting. So we'll see how it is. I'm excited to try a new surface. That could be a great thing or a total disaster. Because yeah, if it's a horrible surface, I'll have to wait for it to dry, which won't be a big deal. It'll be dry by next Wednesday anyways. Did he have to sand it? No sanding involved. That's one of the things I like about this is no prep work involved. I just had to tape it to a board, and that's it. I hate prepping my surfaces. I'm lazy. So I tend to go for anything that doesn't require a lot of prep work. You understand the want to just get going? Yeah, absolutely. It drives me crazy, the like prep work that is required sometimes. Yeah, it's some of the prep work is like hours of work and waiting, and I can't do it in my room. I have to go out to the garage and prep a special area for it that isn't normally there. And it's a lot sometimes. So yeah. Because some of the stuff that you use to prep panels can put out some really noxious fumes. So you can't be around that. And so on. Yeah. Well, it definitely has right now. It definitely feels like paper, which I mean, it is paper, so it should. But yeah, it's funny. It's got that like I don't know. The texture is very familiar. We'll see what happens when I start laying down like or thicker paint, not just drawing with my brush. So, what have you been up to lately, Donnelly? I know you streamed. I missed your streams lately. There was one. I think it was Friday you streamed, and I just I could not make it. Oh, you didn't know there could be chemicals used in prepping canvas? Yeah, so it just depends on how you're prepping it. But like for instance, for if you want to use oil primer, which when you're painting with oil, obviously there's gesso, like acrylic gesso, which a lot of people use, but there's also oil primer, which is really nice to work on. But uh, if you get the kind, there's like two kinds that you can get. You can get the kind that takes forever to dry, and then you can take the kind that dries in an hour. Um, but yeah, it it uses solvents or something to help it dry so fast. So yeah. And then you have to sand in between if you want a smooth surface, which, you know, is also creates, you know, some stuff. Don't sand if you're doing what's it called? Uh, lead lead white oil primer or lead primer, whatever it's called. Yeah. I was streaming my digital painting of Body Painter, McCroft 07 Gender Swap Freddy Krueger. Oh, that's so cool. Still have a bit to do, a bit of work on it. I gotta take a look at that. I remember you talking about it last time that you rated this. You rated them. It sounds awesome. I haven't seen it. And this one's gonna be trippy to do. So the lighting on this painting is really odd. It's like underlit from the front and from the back a little bit. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. In case anyone didn't pick up on it or realize from the thumbnail, I'm painting Bride of Frankenstein. It's so scary at Purdy. Yeah, I spent a lot of time looking for reference on different things to paint for this. I did look at Wednesday Adams, but I don't know. I wasn't really happy with the references I was finding. I did think about I was torn. I was tempted to paint Gene Wilder from Young Frankenstein. If I blast through this painting and I finish it on Wednesday, I might do another one for what's it called on Sunday, but I doubt it. You love that movie? Yeah, it's a good movie. Absolutely. Yeah, there's some other ones that I also thought about, but you know, obviously I ultimately went with this one. Okay. It feels really dry in the beginning. I don't like this. Uh, all right. I'm gonna put down just some oil to help things move around a little. There's actually a term for it. I think it's called painting into a cushion or a couch. I think it is either one of those. Yeah. Usually they people do it with paint. They'll put down like Bob Ross used to put down liquid white. Liquid white is just uh, a runny oil, white oil paint um, that he put down to help everything kind of blend and move easier. Donley, did you ever see Dracula Dead and Loving It? You think The Bride of Frankenstein is a great call? Yeah, I think so. Thanks, I appreciate the confidence, though. Yeah, ultimately, I think this was the best option. So normally, when people put down um, washes and stuff like that, uh, they usually do it with Gamsol. It's a solvent, like a mineral spirit. I am doing this with straight walnut oil. I'm not worried about it making the um, what's it called? The bottom layer too um, oily or too fat in the fat over lean issue because I'm going to paint into it and it's all going to kind of mix together. And then I'm also going to probably uh, pass the brayer on it and then probably do some other stuff to it. So not overly concerned. Is Dead and Loving It the Leslie Nielsen? I know I've seen clips. I'm not sure I've seen the full movie or not. I guess I need to add that to my watch list just in case. Yeah, that is the Leslie Nielsen one. Yep, yep. I thought about doing him as Dracula for this, but really, he's just kind of looks goofy, like he's wearing like a Dracula cosplay kind of thing, which is great in the movie. Don't get me wrong, but for this, I felt like it wasn't. I wasn't going to get quite the look I wanted. But yeah, um, he also. I don't want to ruin it, but they also make fun of the Dracula movie with the Dracula that has the white like hair that's like in a bun kind of thing. Um, they poke fun at that. So I'm going to need to put out more paint. Definitely need to put out more paint. All right. Barnes Stokes Dracula. Yes, yes. They poke fun at him. You know, I feel like that's somewhat understandable given given what they did. Although it still has some great that Dracula has some great things to it. And, you know, say what you will about the hairstyle, but it's iconic. Everyone knows what I'm talking about as soon as I mention it. If they've seen it, they know it. So, you know, it's a silly hairdo and yet, you know, effective, I guess. It works great in the movie. Yeah, it does. I agree. Yeah, my Sunday stream, I'm trying to remember. Um it was like over 4 hours or something. I was so tired afterwards. But I was really happy to just get that painting done. No worries, Stanley. Oh, this surface is really dry. Hopefully, as the oil builds up, it gets better. Hey, Liz, welcome. I was happy it was done. Beautiful creation. Now to go create my own. Now I gotta go. I gotta go. Got it. Yeah, go create your own. Yes, I look forward to seeing it. Please share it with me somehow. I would love to see it. Thanks. Yeah, absolutely. I encourage everyone to go. Everyone should go create. Seriously, if the choice is between sitting and watching me and going and creating, go create. Everyone. If that's the choice, make that choice. Try not to bump the microphone. I would also like to actually put something else out there in the world, which is, um, you know, you don't have to be a professional or an aspiring professional or good or whatever other labels you want to put on it to create something. Um, yeah, everyone can make something, everyone can create stuff, and it doesn't have to be for any other purpose than literally just the enjoyment of doing it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I encourage people to like get better and work at it and all that because I know what it's like to, work towards being a professional. Been through that, I know what that's like. But that doesn't have to be like you don't have to be that person to just want to do something. And you don't have to be the best at it either. Literally, no one's the best at it. I just wanted to put that out there because I so often, especially with all the AI art that's come out lately, people act as if like you're only valid if you're like the top of the top and the best of the best, and everybody else just doesn't matter, and what they create doesn't matter. And yeah, that's not true at all. I don't subscribe to that. I think that's a horrible way of looking at art. And yeah, I think the only people who look at art that way are people who either have no interest, real interest in it, or really want to be good and are very insecure about how good they are. Or maybe they've been fed the wrong kind of messaging. I don't want to put, I don't know. Maybe it's just that. What do I know about that? What people have in their head. But yeah. I agree. I got my pencil and I'm making sketches. Awesome. That's great. It's really weird because when I'm doing these streams, like I'm talking to the people in chat. By the way, if you want to talk live, by all means, sign into your YouTube account and you can join in the chat for free. But I'm also talking to like the people who may watch this after the fact. You know, as like the VOD or the video afterwards. So it's weird. I have to I sometimes think about that and just talk to people who aren't actually watching right now because you never know, kind of thing. So I'm just mixing up something that's going to be like my dark tone or my shadow or whatever. A lot of artists I know, they have like one color in particular that they tend to go towards for their what's it called? For their like shadows. Sometimes it's completely unrelated to the colors that are actually present. Sometimes it's mildly related. It's like, oh well, it's a warm painting, so I'll use my warm color. Um, yeah, I don't really have a go-to though. Yeah, I just mix up an approximation because it's the shadows and it's only the first pass. Not really overly concerned with getting the color right. Yeah, I'm not even entirely worried about getting the value right either because that I want to get close, but it's all going to get adjusted. And right now, my whole canvas is just white it's just white, and that makes seeing hard anyways. So, but I don't tone my canvases. Mostly, well, for two reasons. One of the reasons I don't tone my canvases is because you pretty much have to either tone it way in advance, or in which case it's dry, so you lose out on that aspect of it, or you tone it with a mixture that involves Gamsol. And since I don't use Gamsol while I paint, I can't do that. Could use Gamsol while I paint, but I don't have enough ventilation here to use it. So what are you working on, Liz, if you feel like sharing or telling the general idea or whatever? Or if it's too much distraction, just ignore me and keep working. I'll move on to another topic. So the original of this image is black and white because it was a black and white film. But uh, Photoshop has the, you know, this option to colorize um, black and white photo. It's not perfect, but it's a good starting point. So that's how I started it, and then I did a bunch of edits on top of all that just to get it, um, you know, further along and get the colors closer to what I wanted or the overall feel of it too. Yeah. I have to say so far, not loving this paper. That doesn't mean anything overall. Like it could end up being really great, but it's definitely very dry in the early stages. Like way drier than I'm used to working. But working on dry surfaces has a lot of advantages. It just depends on what you like working on. Some of the advantages of working on a more absorbent or like a surface that feels dry is the paint that you put down in your first layer tends to dry faster, so you can layer on top of what you already painted faster. I think that might be the main advantage. Also get a ton of dry brush effects if that's what you like. And I guess you get this kind of like, if you put in some oil with it, get this kind of watery, watercolor kind of look, I think. I don't think I get that normally. So that's kind of cool. Oh, also, it doesn't feel like your uh, brush is skating or sliding or slip. Well, not your brush so much as the paint. When you try and put paint down and it just kind of slides around underneath your brush and you can't lay down color. Yeah, doesn't do that. It got it's got a tooth to it. It does, but not much. It's in this case, I don't think it's the tooth that's making it feel dry as much as it's the paper. I've worked on paint sponges before. Didn't like it either. Yeah, this is essentially like a watercolor paper that they supposedly treated in a special way to make it, you know, appropriate for oils. Um, but it is in a lot of ways just a watercolor paper. So yeah, it tends to be. It feels like it's. I have to put a lot more oil down to get it to move. But yeah, I don't like I said, I personally don't like it, but some people love it. So, you know, there are advantages to it. It's just I will take the disadvantages and enjoy paint, enjoy the more fluid surfaces. I have painted on like just raw paper before that wasn't meant for oils. Depending on the paper, it can be like very, very absorbent or not that absorbent, just kind of depends. Now you know what it's like, so that's good. Yeah, absolutely. It's a learning experience. It's good to, give it a try. I bought a whole pad of this stuff to um for I mean, I can do just paintings on it, but also it's great for experiments and stuff like that because it's a little, you know, it comes out being cheaper per page than it would if I got like a board or something. Really, what I need to do is I need to go back to one of the plastic sign people and get another um, what's it called? Get another ACM panel. I forget what ACM stands for now that I think about it, but it's the ones that are what's it called? Oh, geez. It's the aluminum uh, panels with the plastic sandwiched in the middle. What's great about those is that you can cut them with just like a box cutter, whereas the like the wood panels, obviously you need special tools, to cut wood. As long as the cost doesn't even out when you add in how much more linseed oil needed to make it feel good to paint. Yeah, good point. I didn't think about that. You might have a point there. Uh, yeah, it feels that might even out a bit. I'll be honest. I will say this though, the one positive is it definitely encourages you to use, more paint and to be liberal with it, which I know a lot of students. That's something that's especially like art students struggle with because they want to conserve as much of their paint as they can and not waste it. So, which I totally get, but yeah, sometimes you just have to. I'm actually using walnut oil instead of linseed oil, and I do wonder if that's making it actually better or worse. Because walnut oil is a little more like runny feeling. Um, I don't know how that's influencing things. I mean, my paints are made with linseed oil, but the extra oil that I'm using is walnut oil. Not a huge difference between the two, mild. Oh, Don Lee, I looked up some stuff about YouTube's moderation. Um, I'm going to see about possibly connecting Nightbot uh, to my chat, which might help a bit. I don't know. I'm looking into it. I started reading up on it. This orange is way too strong right now, but will definitely be bringing it down a bit. Oh, cool. Yeah, you having my comments deleted at what seemed like random instances is annoying. Yeah, I I don't think it was entirely random. I think it's the automated moderation kind of thing is just really uh over overdone a little bit. And I looked into turning that off or reducing it, and I thought I did, but then it didn't work. So, you know, because I set it up so that it should like when people put in like you know links or something like that, like it should prompt me to like give me the option to allow it or disallow it. Um, but it's not, and I don't know why. Streaming is definitely a what's the word I'm looking for? An experience. Seems like there's a never ending, like, you know, problem solving kind of thing. Like things just seem to keep popping up and so on. It's fine. Just part of it. Yeah, streaming is nuanced. Yeah. A lot more than I thought it would be. It looks like she has a mustache right now. It's funny. Going for the full color? Yeah. I'm not going to do the I'm not doing black and white. But yeah, I didn't want to do black and white, but it will I think the colors are a little strong right now. Part of that is because of trying to like just deal with the surface. Um I think I will be muting some of the colors a bit as I go because right now it's very very strong. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't want to do black and white. I felt like this way I was contributing to the painting more because I made a bunch of edits and I made a bunch of changes and so on. Absolutely, make it your own. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I'm like I said, I think I will be um, muting the colors a little because right now some of them are stronger than I wanted. I think like the blue is just it's stronger than my reference to. Yeah, I think part of that's just I was so focused on trying to get the paint down that I wasn't paying as much attention to it. Luckily, with the way I paint, um, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, I'm not one of the painters who is trying to get it uh, right and done in one pass. Like all the brush strokes I'm laying down right now, I assume will be to a degree painted over at some point. I know that's not everybody's approach. Yeah, but for me, that's my approach. Honestly, I think if I had to be one of those painters who like puts down brush strokes in the beginning of the painting that are like final brush strokes, I don't know. I would struggle. I would struggle with that. I think it's worth mentioning that people who do paint like that, a lot of them use transparency in their paint. So what they'll do is they'll put down certain colors look um, if you put them down how can I put it uh, thin if you put them down in a thinly they'll the color will change as the canvas shines through or the paper or whatever and it makes for beautiful colors like you can get some colors that they just have a like glow to them. I don't even know if you I don't know if you can actually get that any other way. But it's definitely comes at a price because you cannot fix that. Like once it goes down, it's down. Maybe if you have a very, very unabsorbent surface, you can wipe back and then try again, but that's about it. You think Pinky kind of embraced economy with her brushstrokes? Um, I don't know. Pinky, no, I don't think. Well, she didn't really use transparency much. Um, her stuff was more like chunky and brushy. Like her paints went on kind of like, you know, she used yeah, I mean sometimes she used a very thick brush. I really liked her style. I thought she did you know, I liked her style, but yeah, I don't think she really used a lot of transparency in her work. I don't remember. Though her style is a bit different than what I think you're doing. Yeah, yeah. So what I'm describing is um, I'm trying to think of a painter who embodies that really well, um, and I'm forgetting his name right now. Um, I can't remember. I can't remember his name at the moment. Um, but yeah, there's just a glow that like certain colors get. I can't remember. I'm trying to think. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean transparency. Just your description of your initial brushstrokes. Oh, I see what you're saying. Would be covered and don't know that she necessarily did that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree with you on that. Yeah, she. Yes, you're right. But you see, the thing is, right? So I put this down, and now I'm going to take this and I'm going to mess it all up. So that's why I assume everything's going to get covered because I'm planning on messing it up too, you know? So, in a way, this is kind of like other artists that they use, like they tone a canvas. In a way, this is kind of toning the canvas, only, you know, obviously it works a little differently, but it has a lot of the same effect. So, yeah, that's why I'm a little less concerned about getting it right the first go around because I know what's coming. It doesn't work as well on the paper though. I'll say that it's yeah, not crazy about that, but oh well. So anyone who's curious why I would do that, there's numerous reasons that I like to do this. Usually it covers up a lot more of the little gaps, like all those little white spots get covered better. It tends to mute a lot of the colors and mix them together, which in the end I feel like makes everything a little more harmonious. It also introduces some elements that are somewhat random, which I also like. Excuse me. And so sometimes I'll keep those like random abnormalities will stay until the end, or they'll influence my choices. You know, and then also it gives me an opportunity to go back and fix any mistakes I made. And also another thing that I think is very important, it allows me to not be too precious with my painting while I'm painting it, which I think is very important. It might just be a mental thing, but I think it's still very important. Let's see. Conley says, I dig that. I think, should I start painting in oils again? I'll probably try to embrace something more similar to what it sounds to me you're doing. Absolutely, you should. Oils are fun. I don't know, like oils for me personally in the beginning were really hard, and I'm happy to give advice so that people don't have to go through the trial and errors that I went through. You know, because there's definitely some things that I can like guide people to like avoid that gave me a real hard time. But other than that, once it clicked, it was over. Like oils clicked in a way that nothing else clicked for me personally. Now, I'm not saying that'll happen for you, Don Lee, or anyone in particular, but yeah, I do feel like oils are some of the most forgiving and versatile painting medium. So yeah, I don't know. It like obviously, what's it called? You know, obviously digital paint is like, you know, you always have an undo in digital paint, right? Like, you know, when working in the computer. But I, even though I don't have an undo, of course, and I can't like grab pieces and move it around the way you can digitally, like obviously, but it's still really forgiving if you want to make changes, if you want to, you know, add, subtract, you can add color, subtract color, you can wipe color off, you can put, you can do light over, you can do darks over lights, lights over darks. You know, they tell you lights of like you work from dark to light in oils, and that's somewhat true, but you can work light to dark if you want, or you can work medium out kind of thing. You know, it's very open. You have a lot of options. And I don't think, like, in a way, you can always keep working on something and improve it and change it if you want. not saying that I think people should endlessly work on stuff to make it perfect, but I am saying if you decide suddenly, you know what, I think this or that, or I see something I should change, you usually can. One of the big advices I can give to anyone is this was something that gave me a real hard time, was getting good brushes. And by good, I don't mean good expensive brushes. I mean just the right type of brushes. Don't get the soft watercolor brushes for most of, like, you can use those for certain things, like if those work, but not for most of the painting. Your brushes need to be a bit stiffer. And that one thing will change a ton when it comes to learning how to paint with oils. A lot of people use natural fiber brushes, hog or camel bristle brushes. I'm opposed to using natural hair brushes, but there are synthetics that are pretty close as far as like stiffness. It's not a matter of like synthetic or natural. It's just get ones that are a bit stiffer than the like, you know, very soft watercolor brushes. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention some other things for anyone who's looking to get into oils. I think Don Lee knows all this stuff already, so this isn't, this is someone who's never used oils before. So if you're using solvents, make sure you have ventilation. If you're using mediums, some of them have solvents in them, so make sure you have ventilation. Or make sure they don't have solvents, either way. And linseed oil or walnut oil, but oil, if you have soaked rags soaked with oil, they can spontaneously combust if you bunch them up and put them in the trash. So look up how to dispose of rags properly. It's not something that usually happens if you have a little bit of oil, but like, if you accidentally, spilled your oil and you're, cleaning it up and you soaked your rags and then you bunch it up and throw it in the trash, that's a fire hazard. So just be aware of that. I don't want that color there. And also some of the pigment, and it's actually a pigment thing, not a paint-based thing. This applies to acrylics too. Some pigments are toxic, so don't eat them. And don't smear them all over your body. Oh yeah, and do not sand. This is a big one. Do not sand paintings that have paint on them, because some of those toxic pigments become super toxic if you turn them into dust and inhale them. You don't want that. All right, I think that's all my safety PSA for now. I just feel like it's worth mentioning because sometimes people don't know, and it's one of those things where it's like if you don't know what you don't know, so you don't go looking for it. It's like, why would you? So yeah. Yeah, I think in the future I'm gonna have to put a coat of oil paint and let it dry before I start painting on these surfaces on this paper. You are the biggest downer. My plans for next weekend are ruined now with my oil painting, tasting, and body paint competition I was going to host. I am. I've ruined many plans this way. I will say, lead white looks very, very appetizing. It's a shame. Lol. Yeah. Not to mention that I've heard lead is sweet, so like double disappointing because I have a sweet tooth. But yeah. There's just a ton of like misinformation, not misinformation, inaccurate information out there, or you know, I saw a YouTube video. I think someone informed her, and so she took it down. But she made some claims about like oil paints being uh, very toxic and acrylics being less toxic because um, it just uses water, so it's more natural. Acrylics are essentially a plastic polymer that uses water, so it's not exactly natural. And oil paint uses, uh, you know, um, oil from actual plants. So I think someone informed her because I tried to find that video after the fact and could not find it. So I think she took it down. But I was going to be like, I was going to be that person. Well, actually, but like it's true. Uh, I'm not going to say who it was. I don't remember. I literally can't because I don't remember who it was. But she was. It was like a video on YouTube that someone posted. Yeah, I didn't want to be that person, but at the same time, like I can't not because it's you know that's very inaccurate. Also, only time I've ever gotten actually sick from fumes was from acrylic paint. So the acrylic paint can also off gas and like be dangerous, but people don't think it is. Yeah, I don't want people getting hurt or whatever. Yeah, no, I definitely. the crazy thing is that like people, I was worried about the fumes, and a lot of people are worried about the fumes, and understandably so. Um, but um, with I'm talking about oils at the moment, people are worried about like the solvents and the fumes, and like the solvents really do have nasty fumes, but you don't have to use them. Um, there are ways around it if you don't want to use them. Um, and the spontaneous combustion thing, it often goes overlooked. Um, but like people who do like decks or woodwork, they know about that stuff because they use linseed oil to like stain and seal like wood for housing stuff or decks, or I use decks because I saw it there the most, but all kinds of stuff. Never heard of acrylic getting people sick from fumes. Yeah, so it's definitely not as common, but um, acrylic, it's basically like I said, it is some kind of like plastic, and as it dries, um, some of them can put out some fumes. Um, hey, someone, welcome. You're about to sleep, but I'm glad to watch you for a few moments. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Have a great night if I don't, get in time. But yeah, have a great night. Thanks for stopping by. It's good to see you. So I'm doing, in case you didn't catch it, the earlier parts, which understandable, not a big deal. I am painting Bride of Frankenstein. So that was the character I ended up landing on, Bride of Frankenstein. So I'll definitely not finish it tonight. That's for sure. Um, you know, I'll probably go on and I'll probably be working on this till Sunday. Um, yeah, probably. I was also complaining a bit about the surface I'm working on. I'm trying a new surface and I'm not loving it. So it is what it is. Not a big deal. I see Frankenstein. That brings epic ink drawings to my mind when I hear Frankenstein. Yeah, not so yes, but not Frankenstein. Bride of Frankenstein. But yeah, there's so much good artwork of Frankenstein. I was like, maybe I'll do Frankenstein, and then I started searching, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do Frankenstein. People, too many like amazing artists have done Frankenstein already. I'm good. I don't need that right now. It's all right. The guy who did, I think his name is Wrightson or something, Bernie Wrightson. Yeah, maybe. There's so many. There's so many good ones. There's a famous poster of Frankenstein that that is like that got painted, and it's so good. Um, yeah. I once heard a cover of the song Teen Spirit by you know um, Nirvana. And this isn't the like I'm not talking about Weird Al. I'm talking about just like a band did a cover of Smells Like Teen Spirit. They didn't change it that much. Like sure they were the ones singing it, sure um they sound different. There were some minor changes done to it, but essentially very much the same song. It felt so pointless because they didn't do enough to it, and they're not going to be better than Nirvana at Nirvana's song. Yeah, and that's how I felt about Frankenstein. I'm like, oh yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not going to bring. I'm bringing nothing to the table here. Um, Maybe if I could get some different references, I think I could bring something to the table on Frankenstein, or technically the monster of Frankenstein, if I could get some different references. But trying to paint the same references that everybody else had in addition to it, no, not a chance. Frankenstein has had around 105 years to inspire artists. So yeah, there's a back catalog. LOL. Yeah, those ink drawings have like 100 speakers and knobs and chains in those drawings. It's crazy. Um, keep people now. People can not give time. Wait, huh? But people can not give time. I think there might have been a slight misspelling or something there. But yeah, people now don't usually have the time to do that. I don't. I also don't have the patience for it most of the time. I'll be honest. But yeah, Frank, it's is this the bride from a film or a drawing? It's the from the movie. Yeah, like I said, I think maybe I could do something unique to Frankenstein that would be. I'm not saying like rivaling anybody. I'm not trying to say that, but like at least it wouldn't feel like a you know like a lesser attempt. It would be like, oh, that's Frankenstein done differently. But finding reference for Frankenstein, you know, was the hard part. And there's so much reference out there that people have already done so much work from that I couldn't find anything that I thought I could actually like bring something to it other than, you know, a lesser version of what other people have done already. It's crazy what people can do if given time. A sleepy end can see or write it right. Yeah, no worries. I knew there was something a little off. I'm dyslexic, so when I get tired and I try and write, a lot of times like I think I'm writing correctly and it'll come out like all messed up and gibberish or whatever. So no worries, I get it. Yeah, if you go back and watch like my other paintings, or if you've been around to see a lot of my paintings, you may have noticed I almost never do this when I paint, like that, like scrubbing over it. It's just because it's so dry that I'm doing that right now. Artist I think you're referring to, Ink Frankenstein, is Bernie Wrightson. In case you were wondering, yes, yes. Oh, you're dyslexic too? Yeah, you always check before sending, but can't do that. Good way now. Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, I never like do this scrubbing motion when I paint, or maybe not never, but almost never. But this paint is just, the surface is just so absorbent that, yeah. The one I saw that I had in my mind is there's a painting of, there's a poster of Frankenstein where he's like, uh, he's lit from above and he's kind of looking straight ahead. And someone did a painting of that, but in color, because the original's black and white. It's so good though. I don't remember who did that, but I know I've seen it like 100 times. Yeah, one of the things I absolutely love about oil paints is that you can carve back into them. That's something I absolutely love being able to do. Acrylics, I think, can do it too. And you can kind of do that with gouache as well, but I think oils do it better. You think that might have been the one by Bernie Wrightson did, Frankenstein? Heaven knows in that painting. Don't remember. It could be the basis for it, and then people did something on top of that. I don't know. one of the first results if you look up like Frankenstein painting or drawing. Okay, I posted it. Did the link show? No. Not at all. Not even close. And there is absolutely nothing for me to do about it. Boo, yeah. I have moderation tools on. I don't know. Yeah, I can, you know, I can ban you. I can, I can put you on timeout. And, what else? No one. I'm just saying in moderation tools that,
She looks good.
Don Lee tried to post a link and it doesn't go through. And it's supposed to give me the ability and the moderation to like to do that, but it's not, and we don't know why. Only the mod can post links? Yeah, but it yes, ban me, put me out of my misery, Don Lee. No. Never put you out of your misery. Why would I ever do that? She walked away already. Gotta love the delay. Let me see real quick. Let me see if I can find Frankenstein. Here we go. All right, copy image address. There we go. I would put it on screen, but I don't know how to do that right now off the top of my head. So there you go. I can learn to do stuff like that. Like I can figure out how to post an image onto my, bring an image up, but I have to do it, not live. I have to do it, figure out how to do it, and then I can do it live. But yeah, I'm not gonna bother trying to do it on the fly. If you haven't seen that one, then there's a variation of that one that you've seen. Like that, there's a lot of them that are almost the same. But yeah. That one has a nose? Yeah, it has a nose. It's based off of the movie poster though. That's why a lot of them look very similar. It's because it's like heavily based off of the movie poster. Yeah, no, there's like there's a movie promo or movie pic just like it, like so it's they're all kind of the same. I was trying to find one that had a good link. Um, yeah. He's also the version used in cartoon. Yeah. I like the one from the Munsters. Um, he has a very expressive face. Um, he's a really good actor. The guy who was from the Munsters, but yeah. Hi, Tristan. Got it, Tristan. Yeah, forgot about that. There we go. Tristan, little boy. I think the camera's flipped, but whatever. Even if it's flipped, he's cute. Isn't that right, Dresden? Thank you, little boy. Oh, that's thank you. Okay, that's gross. Yeah. Okay, little boy. Okay. Thank you for the grooming. I appreciate it. He's really not chubby. He's just furry. Look, but 1 second. Let me see if I can show you. He's so long. Like he's such a long cat. But this is all fur. Like I'm not even grabbing him. It's just fur. You're so fluffy, aren't you, little boy? And look at that. My hand just like disappears into him. Oh my god, he's like a dog. Yeah. He is. All right, you can have my chair. Go ahead. Oh, that's a good boy. Oh. Fred Gwynn, Herman Munster, and yeah, he's great. He was in Pet Cemetery and My Cousin Vinny. Yeah, yeah, he's a great actor. I like him a lot. I didn't know his name, but yeah, I like him a lot. Yeah, someone I swear he's really not that like he's not that chubby of a cat. He's just so furry and he's very long. So when I pick him up, he gets all scrunched up. Um, but yeah, I really I say that only because I really want to make sure that he doesn't become like a very chubby cat, for his own health. Got a lurk. Check back in a bit. No worries, Stanley. I am getting close to finishing for the night. I'll go a little more, but yeah, I'm getting close. I have unfortunately limited time during the week. By the way, this is coming along great. Ah, thank you. I mean, it's still early stages. Wait, thank you. I appreciate it. I'll be streaming on Wednesday night as well. You're starting to see my vision now? Nice. Yeah. So I'll be working on this Wednesday night as well. It looks like an odd cat, just must stay thin to be healthy. Yeah. Like something humans. I'm assuming like humans too, but yeah. Yeah, I'm working on that myself, trying to slim down a little bit. Like 9 foot humans. Oh, got it. I'll be honest, I am shocked that Nicholas Uribe doesn't like love this paper. Because I've tried some of the paper he likes and um yeah, this he likes very dry surfaces, so kind of shocked he doesn't like this stuff. I don't know. He said, to be fair, he didn't say he doesn't like it. He said it's okay. He's used it, but I meant more like I'm shocked that he's not like raising it and using it all the time. Uh, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. The moleskin paper is, yeah, moleskin paper is pretty great. Um, but even that is actually, I feel like the moleskin paper is actually less absorbent than this stuff. So I'm kind of shocked that he doesn't, like this more. Said he's tried it in different under different circumstances, like at places that he went to teach and stuff. So if he had told me that he hadn't tried it, I would have sent him some so he could give it a shot. Yeah, I'm looking forward to painting on this on Wednesday because my assumption is that by Wednesday it'll be dry and it will feel more like painting on dry, like on a dry oil painting versus on very absorbent paper. I haven't seen them stream for a while. Yeah, they haven't streamed in a while. I don't remember why. I think they're traveling somewhere for something. Yeah. Oh, you just noticed 111 subs. Congrats. Yeah. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I think that number is so funny. I don't know why, but I guess it's 111. But yeah, I was like, oh, that's fun. That's a good one. I feel like it'd be fun to do some special streams based off of the follower counts. I'm not saying that I want to do that a lot, but I think sometimes it could be fun to do. 100 and 1T1? Yeah, exactly. Like I could do something special for 420. It's not exactly my thing, but you know, I'm not opposed to it, so could be fun. Could do something fun for 666. I don't know. I just think the idea is fun. Overall, I don't want my stream to like, you know, how can I describe this properly? Uh like I'm a painter first and the streamer second, I guess. So I don't want the stream to overly influence like my choices of paintings, but having said that, I like to have fun sometimes. That, you know, not the most serious stuff all the time. So both is okay. Oh, something demonic? Yeah. Yeah. I could. For 666, it could be fun to do something demonic or, you know, I don't know. Um, you know, I could always do something Hellboy related. since I've already done something like that. Could do what's it called? Uh, Doom, like the video game related. I'm actually a fan of that video game, so it's a good tie-in for me. Um, haven't really played Diablo since a long time ago, so yeah. I don't know. Or I could do something from a movie, or you know. Totally, Hellboy is awesome. Yeah, yeah, could be fun. I don't know. I'll probably, the thing is, I'll probably just miss it as it goes by at some point, so I won't do anything. But if that happens, it happens. And then when I do I will do something. I don't know what I'll do, but I'll do something when I reach the like 1,000. It feels very like customary to do something for that, for that like milestone kind of thing. But it'll be a while. Good night. Good night, Saman. It was fun having you around. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate the company. Yeah, I am looking forward to working on this on Wednesday. Everything just sinks into itself. It's ridiculous. Yeah, that's one thing I find frustrating about dry surfaces. It just I feel like I put down paint to cover something and it just sinks in and it's like all the paint just disappears. Whereas normally if I put down like paint, you see that I put down paint. Yeah, I'm gonna call it a night. It's past the 2 hour mark, which was my goal. Yeah, on the weekend, my goal is to stream more than 2 hours, and during the week is a minimum of 2 hours. That's the goal for now, at least. I know I say that, and then I keep painting. I just constantly see things that I need to adjust and you know get into. All right, all right, all right. I gotta call it a night. I gotta call it a night. Come on. Everyone who stopped by, thank you so much. I appreciate the company. Check out Don Lee. He's a streamer on Twitch. Goes by Don Leo. You can see him in the chat there. Check him out. He does digital artwork. And he's doing some really cool stuff right now with a cosplayer. And yeah. All right, I'm calling it a night. I'm calling it a night. All right. Have a good night, everyone. I'll be streaming Wednesday night and Sunday day. So you can stop by. It'd be great. Yeah, that's all.